Season 6 of Superior Angling TV is brought to you by RJ Sport and Cycle and the rest of our fine sponsors. If you ask us where our favorite fishing spot is, the answer wouldn't be what many expect. The answer would be where the road ends and the wilderness begins, where people are absent and fish are abundant. And wherever that may be, you will find us, telling a story of the fish that swim within. Going the extra mile doesn't guarantee success, and quite frankly, it often provokes failure. It does, however, guarantee little sleep, broken gear, and low fuel tanks. But, most importantly, it guarantees a memory you won't soon forget.
All right, good morning and welcome to this episode of Superior Angling. We are here in the backwoods of Ontario, and the plan for today is to chase after splake. We are super excited. There are a lot of splake in this lake. We've never fished it before, so we kind of have our work cut out for us between the weather, it being super cold, really snowy conditions, and going off of no information. But with splake, again, they're half lake trout. We know what lake trout do, so we're going to apply very similar principles to chase after these splake and try to put some topside. There are big splake in here. We're hoping to see quite a few in that, 15 to 20 inch range. There are big fish in here though, 24, 25, 26. Like, there's big splake to be had. But if we can see a bunch of splake in that 15, 20, 21 inch range, we are going to be happy. So we're going to drill a bunch of holes and try to locate some structure. Again, no contours on this lake. However, on Google Earth, we can see reefs and underwater kind of structure, or what looks like structure. So going off of Google Earth, we've identified some spots that we want to fish. We're going to take our G2 here and drill some holes, try to find some good depths and get baits in the water. Stick with us, it's going to be a good one. We have our holes drilled. Now, when we talk about structure and fishing in an area that we've never fished before in our life, sure, you kind of have your work cut out for you, but applying principles that we know about lake trout. Lake trout love structure, they love reefs, they love underwater points. We can see some of this from Google Earth. So right here is 17 feet, so that's good. I mean, that's crazy. You can see how far shore is from behind me here. That's a big bar that comes all the way out here. We are on some good structure here. Let's get some rods and get some baits in the water and start jigging away. But again, we have a lot of different areas on the lake that we want to try. We're going to jump around. It's kind of windy, pretty cold right now. We're not just going to go ahead and set up iFish Pros right now. We'll probably jig a little bit and try to identify an area with some active fish and then kind of set up a base camp. Initially, right away, again, since we haven't fished this lake, we want to be impatient. We want to fish hard, be agile, be mobile until we identify an area that we want to set up in. And then we're going to set up our Eskimo hub house, get some iFish Pros down there, and hopefully land on a pile of splake. This is fun, I'm excited. Now let's grab some rods in our Eskimo 42-inch rod case here. Super nice rod case. We can keep all our rods, our tackle, extra batteries for our ion. We got it all in here. So we're gonna approach this from a more lightweight perspective. Yes, there's 3, 4, 5, probably 10-pound splake in here, but I'm guessing our average is going to be that 15 to 20 inch range. And again, as you guys know, I like to approach things from a lighter weight perspective just because we're out here for the fun of it. I like a good battle. And lighter weight gear is so beneficial. Splakers is notorious for following your lure up to the bottom of the ice and eating right under the ice, and you set the hook and their head just shakes violently. So you need a rod with a lot of give in the tip to absorb those head shakes so that fish doesn't get off. And again, that's another reason why we're going to be using mono line, is just that additional stretch to help play those fish out. So for rods, we're going to be using like 32 to 36 inch medium heavy walleye gear. So these are the same rods I'd use if we were shooting a walleye show right now, with monofilament line. And then for lures, we are going to be using what I would consider walleye lures, but they also work very, very well for trout. You know, things include like a Northland, a rip and shad. I already have one tied on right here. That's a great bait. Just makes a lot of vibration, a lot of commotion underneath the ice. Like a coffin spoon, that's going to be a good bait too. A white, you can never go wrong with when you talk trout. Or else like a macho minnow as well. We got a nice white kind of Wonder Breadish color macho minnow there as well. So we have some minnows but it's not necessary to tip these with a minnow head. Splake are just so aggressive to begin with. They're going to come up and eat these things without any bait on there. So yeah, that's what we're going to be jigging with. Again, 32 to 36 inch medium heavy rod, straight mono line, kind of a, you know, a 1/4 ounce Northland rip and shad or coffin spoon or buckshot. And yeah, hopefully we're going to see some fish. Well, again, as I mentioned earlier, we're also going to set out iFish Pros with minnows, but we're just not going to do it right now because I don't want to 100% commit to this area. We need to jump around, find a spot with active fish. Sure, this could be it, but it could also be 10 spots from now where we want to set up. So let's get baits in the water. There it is. That feels better. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Look at that. Oh man. That is a kamikaze fish. You can see how much he's bleeding. He just nailed that Northland rip and shad. But that's a nice splake. That's in that 20 inch range. That's what we're out here to see. What a fish. They show up so fast. He actually darted up at me and I jigged and he like larked at it and missed. And I drop it back down, he follows back down and it's fish on. We're obviously gonna be keeping this one for dinner because he's not gonna make it back. But that's what we like to see. That Northland rip and shad is absolutely gone. Just down there making tons of vibration, tons of noise. And it attracted this fish in a mere 9 feet of water. 9 feet, that's shallow. But when splake and trout alike are shallow, they're gonna be aggressive. That's fun.
Oh, that's a nice fish.
Cool.
Fish. Oh, that fish didn't even show up. I was just started fishing in 5 feet of water. And I just hit bottom. And as soon as that lure came up off the sand, that fish pounded it and it never showed up. I never marked it. It feels like a really nice fish too. Oh yeah, there it is. It came up backwards here. Yeah, nice color on this splake, and he pounded That macho minnow, he did not delay at all. As soon as he saw it on this 5-foot flat, he came in and munched. Look at that bait. Wow. That splake came after the macho minnow as soon as he saw it. You cannot be in too shallow of water. I'm only in 5 feet and the bait hardly touched the bottom. Came up and he just made sure he did not miss it. It's a nice splake. It's great.
Hi, Fish Pro. We literally just set this thing. Fish. That is so cool. That is so cool. You cannot beat, it's just mind-blowing how shallow we are. Look at that. Splake, man. So much fun in the wintertime. Especially on a dead-eye rod from St. Croix. Oh, he's right here. Come on. Come on, just gotta get their heads started. Yeah, there we go. Come on. Look at that. Nice 17, 18 incher. Awesome. He just crushed that forage jig from Northland Tackle. That is so fun. That is so cool. Catching splake up here in shallow water. I would have never have dreamed they'd be in this shallow of water. That's a fun fish. Let's get it back.
"20 feet. A little deeper than normal, but still should be perfect. This lake is so full of splake and the water's so clear that there's a hump right in front of me and it comes down to about 20 feet. And the fish can see so well. The reason the water is so clear in these lakes is that they're really young. When the glaciers all covered all this area and there was 2 kilometers of ice overhead, as they receded into the Great Lakes, they left behind these sand-filled esker lakes. So there's eskers that run right through them. They're all glacier deposits. And they didn't really support a lot of life because they're so young. But in these ones in particular, there's bait fish, but there's no native fish here. So what they do is they stock splake or brook trout. And this is obviously a perfect splake lake. It's a long skidoo ride in too. It's probably one of the more remote splake stocked lakes in the province of Ontario, and it demands a lot of work. The weather up here is cold. You know, we're battling winds that are coming down from, you know, relatively flat, barren land. I mean, there's a fish right there as I'm talking. Oh, it didn't even mark, it came in from somewhere else. It's amazing, all day. Oh, and it's off, look at that. Well, there'll be another one. This region in Northern Ontario is really cold. The winds don't have a whole lot to block you. The shorelines are really, really low everywhere. So you can't go hide behind a point and it's hard to get away from the wind. Temperatures easily fall into the -40s and it's nothing for 2 weeks of winter to see -50. Add a wind to that, I mean, you can have -70, and that's the reason these lakes don't get fished very much, and that's the reason you catch fish all day long, no matter where you go. I just drilled this hole. I missed that fish, but there'll be another one shortly. There he is. Oh yeah. Wow. You do not have to wonder too much if they're gonna bite. Big head shakes. Wow. Yeah. Awesome. Get him back in here. And that fish didn't fight very long, so he came out with a lot of energy. Pop my mitt off here so I can get a better hold on him. Whoa. Amazing. That's 2 fish in what, 2 minutes here? I just drilled this hole. I missed one. And both times, you don't even really have time to react. It's so much fun. You don't need bait. You don't need anything really. You just need the willingness to come out here and try and battle the cold and battle the winds, because these clear remote lakes up in northern Ontario are going to produce beautiful fish, and all day long you're going to catch and release them. You're going to take some home to eat. We're going to let this one go. I can watch him swim down. Wow. All you need is a little Northland tackle, macho minnow. These splake go wild for them.
All right, I Fish Pro. Come on. There he is. There he is. That's a splake. That's what we like to see up here in that shallow water. Man, they put up a fight. Woo. They put up a fight. Along with jigging, you might as well put out your tip-ups as well, because splake love live bait. Look at this battle. And on the St. Croix deadeye rods, it's such a fun fight. And look at that. Not a monster, but a very nice splake. That'll go in that 18, 19 inch range and just choke that Northland forage minnow. And just choked that Northland jig. Look at that fish. Not a bad fish at all. That one just choked it. We're just gonna cut the line. We're gonna keep this guy for dinner. That's a good eater, but what a day we're having. That is fun. That's a nice fish. There's, oh, bummer. I didn't even graph him. He's gonna come back. There he is. That feels like a better fish too. That feels like a better fish too. Stay buttoned. Stay buttoned, baby. Oh yeah. Look at that fish. That's a big splake there, man. That's a big splake. That's into that low 20 inch range. Man, he just cracked that bait too. I didn't even graph that fish. I was just sitting there jigging and I just felt my rod just dip down and I felt some tension. And I kept jigging and he came back and just smoked it. That's what's so fun about these splake, is that they are just so aggressive. I mean, it's just like, there's no limit to how aggressive they are and how many times they're gonna hit you until they get what they want. These splake are ferocious. And he wanted this Northland rattlebait. That is so much fun. They're just coming out of nowhere. They are starting to come alive this evening. How much fun is that? That's a nice fish. We're gonna toss him on the ice. Delicious table fare. What a fish. I love it. All right, if there's one thing about trout, that's a lesson learned, is to be ready at a moment's notice. Because this water is clear, it's shallow, and these fish are super, super aggressive. A lot of times you're not even gonna graph a fish. Like that one there, I didn't even graph that thing. He just came in out of nowhere. So if it's cold like today, it's hard to fish without gloves on. So if you do have to have gloves on, just get ready to, you know, get them off so you can reel in a moment's time, because these fish do not give you much warning. There's a flag right there. They are going. They are going. All right, with any luck, he's gonna be there. Yep. Ooh, he's not happy either. He's not happy either. It's just sheer and utter madness right now. But this is what you have to wait for. Man, you get them up to the hole so fast and they have so much energy and spunk left in them. And this is where it's nice to use a 10-inch hole like we have here. Just helps get their head started a little bit better. It's a nice fish. Look at this splake, man. Oh my goodness. That there is an Ontario Wilderness Splake if I've ever seen one. That is beautiful. And that Northland Forge jig is just absolutely choked. Again, you can't even see it down there. What a fish. In that low 20-inch range, I mean, these splake are so much fun. So powerful, so aggressive, and they put up such a fun fight out here in the middle of the Ontario bush with no one around us. Fishing does not get much better. Look at that. That is so cool. What a fish, what a memory. Let's catch another one.
Really big head shakes. I think we got a good hook into him. He's peeled a lot of line, but I'm starting to see bubbles in the hole now, so he must be getting close. Oh yeah, we got a nice splake here. Wow. You can see big white fins below the hole. He's trying to get his head started. Wow. Nice. Wow, what a beautiful splake. And that's why you come to these remote lakes. What a beautiful fish. Wow. Oh, we're gonna let this fish go. A beautiful splake. Wow. He wants to go, he's gone. Haven't seen a soul out here. We're in the middle of nowhere. Feels great to get a big fish. Awesome.
All right, well, I think we have endured the true Canadian experience here today, from like negative 35-degree temps this morning to wind blowing, drifting snow right now. We have, we've put forth our effort, but we have been rewarded with a bunch of beautiful, beautiful splake out here in the Canadian wilderness. What a blast we had. These fish were so aggressive. They're so much fun to catch, and there are a ton of them beneath us. So, you know, if you do your homework, find lakes that these splake are stocked in, and, you know, go on an adventure, go on a journey. Again, none of us had ever fished this lake before in our life, so we identified it on a map and said, hey, let's just go do it. A long skidoo ride in here, and we had the whole lake to ourselves. What a treat this was. So much fun. I'm gonna remember this day for a long, long time. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.
We would like to thank you for watching this episode of Superior Angling TV. You can catch us every Sunday at 5:30 p.m. You can also join us on social media for weekly contests, behind-the-scenes photos, videos, and much more. Also, don't forget, check out superiorangling.com to shop our new apparel available now.